Hello, my dear friends. Today, I am sharing my guide on English listening and speaking practice. If you struggle with understanding spoken English or expressing yourself fluently, don't worry. You are not alone. Many English learners face this challenge, but with the right approach, you can improve quickly. The key to success in English listening and speaking is consistency, practice, and using the right techniques. Listening and speaking are closely connected. When you improve your listening skills, your speaking naturally gets better, and vice versa. Many learners understand English well when they read it, but struggle to speak fluently. Others can write in English, but find it hard to listen and respond in real conversations. This happens because passive learning, reading and writing, is different from active learning, listening and speaking. In this guide, I will give you practical tips that you can use every day to improve your listening and speaking skills. Whether you are a beginner, intermediate, or advanced learner, you will find useful techniques to boost your confidence and fluency. Let's start from the basics and move to advanced strategies step by step. Tips and tricks for English listening and speaking practice 1. Beginner level. Building the foundation. At this stage, your goal is to get comfortable with English sounds and basic conversations. Listen to simple English every day. Choose easy and slow English content, like children's shows, beginner podcasts, or simple YouTube videos. Listen to short conversations and repeat them out loud. Focus on common words and basic sentence structures. Speak without fear. Don't worry about making mistakes. Speak as much as possible. Start with single words, then short sentences. Talk to yourself in English. Describe what you are doing, e.g., I am brushing my teeth. Shadowing technique. Listen to a sentence and immediately repeat it after the speaker. Try to match the pronunciation and rhythm. Use slow-speed audios to start. Learn common phrases. Instead of memorizing individual words, learn phrases and expressions. Examples. How are you? I'm good, thanks. And you? Where are you from? I'm from your country. Watch with subtitles. Watch English movies, TV shows, or YouTube videos with English subtitles. Listen carefully and read along to improve listening comprehension. Later, watch without subtitles and test yourself. Second intermediate level. Expanding skills. Now you are ready to understand faster conversations and speak in longer sentences. Listen to different accents. Train your ears to understand various English accents, American, British, Australian, etc. Use platforms like BBC, CNN, TED Talks, or podcasts. Record yourself speaking. Choose a topic and record yourself speaking for 1 to 2 minutes. Listen to your voice and identify areas to improve. Pronunciation, clarity, speed. Compare your recording with a native speaker's speech. Practice speaking with a partner. Find a language partner or join an English-speaking group. Use apps like Tandem, HelloTalk, or Speaky. Have daily 5-minute English conversations. Imitate native speakers. Pick a native speaker's clip. TV show, interview, or podcast. Repeat their sentences. Copy their tone and speed. This will improve your intonation, fluency, and pronunciation. Think in English, stop translating from your native language. Describe your thoughts in English inside your head. Example. Instead of thinking, I need to buy vegetables, think, I should buy some tomatoes and onions. Practice with AI or chatbots. Use AI tools like ChatGPT, Google Assistant, or ELSA Speak. Have daily practice conversations with them. Third advanced level, achieving fluency. At this stage, you should be confident in conversations and understand fast English speech. Listen without subtitles. Challenge yourself by watching movies and interviews without subtitles. Focus on understanding the main ideas. If needed, watch again with subtitles to check your understanding. Join English-speaking communities. Participate in discussion forums, online groups, or meetups. Speak with native speakers or advanced learners. Engage in real conversations on various topics. Practice public speaking. Prepare a short speech on a topic you like. Speak confidently and clearly. Record your speech and review your performance. Debate and express opinions, discuss complex topics like technology, travel, or culture. Learn to express opinions and arguments clearly. Example: I believe that traveling is the best way to learn because. Challenge yourself with fast speech. Listen to news reports, podcasts, or TED Talks at normal speed. Try to catch important points without stopping. Repeat difficult sentences multiple times. Use advanced vocabulary and idioms. Replace simple words with richer vocabulary. Example: instead of saying, I am very happy, say, I am overjoyed. Practical exercises for English listening and speaking practice 1. Beginner level, simple and fun activities. At this level, focus on understanding basic conversations and building confidence in speaking. Daily listening habit, 5 to 10 minutes a day. Listen to slow English podcasts like ESL Pod or the British Council podcasts. Tip: choose one episode, listen twice, first without subtitles, then with subtitles. Copy the sounds, pronunciation practice. Use apps like ElsaSpeak or Forvo to learn correct pronunciation. Exercise: pick 5 new words every day, listen to their pronunciation, and repeat them aloud. Speak with yourself, mirror practice. Stand in front of a mirror and talk for 1 to 2 minutes. Example: describe your daily routine. I wake up at 7 a.m., I brush my teeth. Then I drink coffee. Listen and draw, fun game. Listen to a short English audio about a place or a person. Try to draw what you hear. This helps your brain connect words with meaning. Speak in questions, conversation starters. Challenge: ask yourself 5 questions every day and answer them in English. What is your favorite color? My favorite color is blue. What do you like to eat? I like to eat pasta. Second intermediate level, expanding your skills. Now you are ready to understand different accents and speak with more confidence. Dictation exercise, train your ears. Listen to a short English clip, 1 to 2 minutes. Write down what you hear. Check with subtitles to see how accurate you were. Role play conversations. Choose a dialogue script from movies or books. Record yourself reading one character's lines. Then play the recording and respond as the other character. TED Talk challenge, advanced listening. Watch a short TED Talk and take notes. Summarize it in your own words. Speak for 1 to 2 minutes. 1-minute speaking challenge. Pick a random topic, e.g., my favorite holiday. Speak for 1 minute without stopping. Goal: improve fluency and confidence. Debate practice. Express opinions clearly. Choose a debate topic. Is online learning better than traditional classes? Speak for or against the topic in English. Third advanced level, mastering fluency. At this stage, practice fast speech comprehension and natural conversation skills. Listen to fast conversations. Challenge: watch TV shows without subtitles. Friends, The Office, etc. Focus on understanding the main idea, not every word. Record and compare, perfect your accent. Choose an English clip, news, podcast, or interview. Record yourself imitating it, same tone and speed. Compare your recording with the original. Speak for 5 minutes, non-stop, pick a complex topic, e.g., the future of technology. Set a timer for 5 minutes and speak without pausing. Think like a native speaker. Stop translating from your native language. Exercise: spend 1 full day only thinking in English. Join live English conversations. Participate in live English speaking clubs on Clubhouse, Zoom, or Discord. Engage in group discussions with native speakers. Additional practice tools. Best websites for English listening practice. BBC Learning English, great for news and interviews. TED Talks, short speeches on interesting topics. ESL Pod, podcasts designed for English learners. Elio.org, free audio lessons with transcripts. Voice of America, VOA, news in simple English. B. Best apps for English speaking practice, ELSA Speak, Improve pronunciation. Hello Talk. Talk with native speakers. Tandem. Find language partners. Google Assistant. Have daily conversations in English. BBC Sounds. Listen to real English conversations. Final motivation. You can do it. Improving listening and speaking in English is not about perfection, it's about progress. If you practice a little every day, you will see huge improvements. Remember these key points. Listen daily. Even 5 to 10 minutes helps. Speak without fear. Don't be shy. Just try. Use real-life practice. Talk to people. Watch English shows. Be consistent. Small efforts every day lead to big results. Now, start practicing today. What's your favorite English listening or speaking activity? Hi, my name is Alex. I still remember the days when I was afraid to speak English. I could read and write, but whenever I tried to listen to someone speak, I could not understand them. And speaking, that was even harder. Whenever I opened my mouth to speak English, my mind went blank. I knew the words, but they just didn't come out at the right time. One day, I told my friend Sarah about my problem. She smiled and said, "Alex, you are not alone. Many people face this. But do you know how I improved my English speaking and listening?" I was curious. "Tell me, Sarah, I really want to improve." She nodded and said, "You need to do two things. Listen more and speak more. It sounds simple, but it really works. Just like a baby listens before speaking, you need to train your ears first." I thought about it. It made sense. But I was impatient. "Sarah, I don't have years to learn like a baby. I need to improve fast." She laughed. "Of course. That's why you need to listen to English every day. Listen to conversations, watch English videos, and try to repeat what you hear." I decided to follow her advice. I started listening to English podcasts and watching English movies with subtitles. At first, it was difficult. The words sounded too fast, and I couldn't catch everything. But Sarah told me, "Don't try to understand every word. Just listen. Your brain will adjust over time." So, I continued, every day I listened for at least 30 minutes. Slowly, I started recognizing words and sentences. I could guess the meaning from the context. It felt amazing. Then came the next challenge, speaking. I was still scared to speak. What if I made mistakes? What if people laughed at me? Sarah noticed my hesitation and said, "Alex, mistakes are part of learning. You must speak, no matter how many mistakes you make." She gave me a simple exercise. She said, "Find an audio clip in English, listen to a sentence, pause, and then repeat it exactly like the speaker." I tried it. At first, my pronunciation was not perfect, but I kept going. Slowly, my words became clearer. I started practicing speaking in front of a mirror. I even recorded my voice and listened to it. It felt strange at first, but it helped me improve my pronunciation. Then, Sarah suggested another idea. Talk to yourself in English. Describe what you're doing. For example, if you're making tea, say, "I am boiling water. Now, I'm adding tea leaves." It sounded silly, but I tried it. And guess what? It worked. My confidence grew. I started thinking in English instead of translating from my native language. After a few weeks, I noticed a big change. I could understand English speakers more easily. I could form sentences faster. One day, I even spoke to a tourist in English without feeling nervous. Sarah smiled when I told her about my progress. "See, Alex? You improved because you practiced every day. Listening and speaking go together. Keep practicing, and soon you will be fluent." She was right. The more I practiced, the more confident I became. Now, I no longer fear English conversations. I enjoy them. So, my dear friends, if you want to improve your English listening and speaking skills, remember these simple steps. Listen every day. Movies, podcasts, conversations, anything in English. Don't worry about understanding everything at first. Repeat what you hear. Copy native speakers. Practice pronunciation. And listen to your own voice. Speak every day. Even if you are alone, talk to yourself. Describe your actions. think in English, and don't be afraid of mistakes. Be consistent. A little practice every day is better than hours once a week. If I can do it, you can do it too. Just start today. You will see progress sooner than you think. After I started practicing every day, I noticed something interesting. My fear of English was disappearing. Earlier, I used to avoid situations where I had to speak in English, but now I was looking for opportunities to practice. I started talking to shopkeepers in English, even if it was just a simple sentence like, "Can I have a bottle of water, please?" One day, something happened that changed everything for me. I was at a cafe, enjoying a cup of coffee, when I heard two foreigners talking. They were speaking in English, of course, and for the first time, I could understand parts of their conversation. I felt so excited. I wanted to join in, but I was still a little nervous. Sarah had always told me, the only way to get better at speaking is to actually speak. So I took a deep breath and said, "Excuse me, I hope I'm not disturbing you, but I am trying to improve my English. Can I join the conversation for a few minutes?" They looked at me, surprised at first, but then one of them smiled and said, "Of course. We would love to talk to you." At that moment, I felt nervous, but I reminded myself, mistakes don't matter. I just needed to speak. So I started talking to them. At first, I was slow, searching for words, but they were kind and patient. They even corrected my mistakes in a friendly way. After about 10 minutes, I realized something amazing. I was actually having a conversation in English. I wasn't perfect, but I was able to express my thoughts. That moment gave me so much confidence. I knew that if I kept practicing like this, I would become fluent. The turning point, my first English challenge a few weeks later, Sarah gave me another challenge. She said, "Alex, you have improved a lot, but now you need to challenge yourself even more. I want you to record a video of yourself speaking in English and post it online." I was shocked. What? No way! People will judge me. What if I make mistakes? She laughed. "Alex, remember what I told you? Making mistakes is part of learning. Just talk about your day, introduce yourself, and post it. Trust me, it will help you." I hesitated, but deep inside, I knew she was right. So, one night, I took my phone, turned on the camera, and started speaking. "Hi, my name is Alex. I'm learning English, and today I want to share my journey. A few months ago, I was scared to speak, but now I am improving every day. If you are also learning English, don't give up." It wasn't perfect, but I did it. I posted the video on social media. At first I was nervous, but then something amazing happened. People started commenting, encouraging me, and even sharing their own stories. Some of them were also learning English, and they thanked me for inspiring them. That moment changed my perspective. I realized that learning English is not about being perfect. It's about making progress. My first English presentation. After that, my confidence grew even more. I started speaking in English whenever I got the chance. And then, one day, my teacher gave me a challenge. She asked me to give a short presentation in English in front of the class. I felt nervous, but this time, I was excited too. I prepared my speech carefully, practicing in front of the mirror. I focused on speaking slowly and clearly, just like I had practiced with Sarah. When the day arrived, I stood in front of my classmates, took a deep breath, and started speaking. "Good morning, everyone. Today, I want to share my journey of learning English. A few months ago, I was afraid to speak, but now I understand that confidence comes from practice." As I spoke, I saw my classmates listening attentively. I felt proud of myself. When I finished, everyone clapped. My teacher smiled and said, "Alex, you have improved so much. Keep going." That moment proved to me that anyone can become fluent in English if they practice consistently. A new challenge: speaking to a native speaker. After my successful presentation in class, I felt more confident than ever. But Sarah had another challenge for me. "Alex," she said, "you're doing great, but now it's time for the real test. You need to have a full conversation with a native English speaker." I hesitated. But where will I find a native speaker? She smiled. There are so many ways. You can join online language exchange groups, talk to tourists in your city, or even join an English-speaking club. I knew she was right. So, I searched online and found a website where people from different countries practiced languages together. I joined a session where an American named John was helping English learners. When it was my turn to speak, I felt nervous, but I reminded myself that mistakes didn't matter. Hi, John. My name is Alex, and I'm learning English, I said. Hey, Alex. Nice to meet you. How long have you been learning English? John asked. I told him about my journey, how I used to be afraid to speak, but now I was practicing every day. He listened carefully and even corrected some of my mistakes in a friendly way. You're doing great, Alex, he said. Just keep practicing. Your pronunciation is already improving. After that conversation, I felt a huge boost of confidence. Speaking with a native speaker was easier than I had imagined. Building daily speaking habits. From that day on, I made English a part of my daily life. Morning routine. I started my day by listening to an English podcast while getting ready. Talking to myself. I spoke to myself in English about my plans for the day. Reading aloud. I read English books and articles out loud to practice pronunciation. Thinking in English. Instead of translating from my native language, I started thinking in English. The more I practiced, the more natural it became. Overcoming the fear of making mistakes. One day, I was speaking English with a foreigner at a cafe, and I made a big grammar mistake. Instead of saying, I have been learning English for 6 months, I said, I'm learning English since 6 months. I immediately realized my mistake and felt embarrassed. But the person just smiled and said, I understand what you mean. Keep going. At that moment, I understood something important. People don't care about your mistakes as much as you do. What matters is that you communicate. Helping others learn English. As I improved, I started helping my younger brother with his English. I shared my tricks with him, and soon he also gained confidence. Teaching someone else helped me reinforce my own learning. One day, Sarah said, Alex, you should start an English practice group and help others. At first, I wasn't sure. But I'm still learning myself, I said. She laughed. That's the best time to teach. You understand the struggles of beginners. Just help them the way I helped you. So, I started a small group where we practiced speaking English together. We talked about different topics, corrected each other, and most importantly, encouraged one another. The final realization. English is a journey. Looking back, I realized that learning English isn't just about studying grammar or memorizing vocabulary. It's about consistency. Practicing a little every day is better than studying a lot once a week. Confidence. Speaking without fear is the key to fluency. Enjoyment. Making English fun keeps you motivated. Now, I no longer feel afraid to speak English. I enjoy it. I know I will keep improving every day. My message to you, dear friends, if you are learning English, don't give up. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to feel nervous. But don't let fear stop you. Listen, speak, practice, and enjoy the journey. If I can do it, so can you. Keep going. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it inspires you to practice your English every day. Keep speaking, and soon you will be fluent. Finding more ways to speak English. Every day, after I started my small English practice group, I realized that the more I spoke, the more comfortable I felt. But I wanted to improve even faster, so I looked for more ways to practice. One day, Sarah told me, Alex, why don't you try shadowing? I had never heard of shadowing before. She explained, shadowing means listening to native speakers and repeating exactly what they say, like an echo. I decided to try it. I found a YouTube video where a native speaker was telling a short story. I played the video and repeated every sentence immediately after hearing it. At first, it was difficult. I couldn't keep up. But after practicing for a few days, my pronunciation improved, and I started speaking faster. Shadowing helped me train my mouth and tongue to move like a native English speaker. It was like learning how to sing a song. You listen, repeat, and soon the words flow naturally. The power of thinking in English. One of the biggest mistakes I used to make was translating everything from my native language into English before speaking. This slowed me down, and sometimes my sentences sounded strange. One day, I asked John, the American native speaker I had spoken with before, "How can I stop translating in my head?" He smiled and said, "Start thinking in English. Even when you're alone, describe what you're doing in English." That day, I tried it. When I woke up, instead of thinking, "I need to brush my teeth," in my native language, I said in my mind, "I need to brush my teeth now." While eating breakfast, I thought, "This bread is really soft and tasty." At first, it felt strange, but after a few weeks, I noticed something amazing. I was speaking faster because I didn't have to translate anymore. Thinking in English made speaking easier and more natural. Speaking to strangers without fear. One of my biggest goals was to have real conversations in English without feeling nervous. But speaking to strangers was scary. One day, Sarah challenged me again. "Go to a tourist area and talk to at least 3 foreigners today." I was nervous but excited. I went to a famous park in my city where many tourists visit. After waiting for a few minutes, I saw a couple taking photos. I took a deep breath and walked up to them. "Excuse me, do you need help taking a photo?" I asked. They smiled and said, "Oh, yes, that would be great." I took their photo, and then we started a short conversation. I asked where they were from, and they asked me about my city. Even though I made some small mistakes, they understood me, and we had a nice chat. That day, I talked to 3 different tourists. I realized something important. Most people are friendly, and they don't care if my English isn't perfect. They just appreciate the effort. After that, I stopped being afraid of talking to strangers in English. Recording my own voice. Sarah gave me another tip that changed my speaking skills. "Alex, record yourself speaking English and listen to it," she said. At first, I didn't like the idea. I thought my voice sounded strange, but I decided to try. I recorded myself talking about my daily routine. When I listened, I noticed my mistakes. Some words were not clear, and my pronunciation needed improvement. So, I tried again. This time, I focused on speaking slowly and clearly. After a few weeks of doing this, I could hear the difference. I was improving. Recording myself helped me identify mistakes and correct them before speaking to others. Joining online English meetings. One day, I saw an advertisement for a free online English speaking event. People from different countries joined to practice their English together. I was a little nervous, but I joined. At first, I just listened. People introduced themselves and talked about different topics. But then, the host asked, "Who wants to share their experience learning English?" I hesitated, but then I raised my hand. "Hi, my name is Alex, and I want to share my experience." I told them about my journey, my struggles, and how I overcame my fear of speaking. When I finished, everyone clapped. The host smiled and said, "That was great, Alex. Your story is inspiring." After that, I joined more meetings. The more I spoke, the more confident I became. Final realization: speaking English is a lifelong journey. After months of practice, I noticed a huge difference. I could speak without hesitation. I could understand native speakers more easily. I didn't feel nervous talking to strangers. But the biggest lesson I learned was that learning English never ends. Even fluent speakers keep learning new words, expressions, and ways of speaking. The key is to keep practicing and never stop. My final message to you. My dear friends, if you want to improve your English speaking skills, don't be afraid. Speak every day, even if you make mistakes. Listen to English as much as possible. Speak to yourself, to friends, and to strangers. Think in English so you don't translate. Record yourself to find mistakes. Join online meetings and practice with others. Most importantly, believe in yourself.